Yeah. Okay, so so I was mentioning أنا أتكاتل, نحن نتكاتل, أنت تتكاتل, أنتما تتكاتلان, أنتم تتكاتلين, which is here, أنتما تتقاتلان, أنتم تتقاتلون, and so forth. So same scale. And in a subjunctive, the last letter just has a fatha. And so when you have like un particle in front of you, and so forth. And in majzoom, when you have lam, for example, or you have law of negation, don't do this, then you have a majzoom. Lam yatakatal. Lam huwa lam yatakatal, for example. How do you form a passive? Fi'l amr, imperative. You so it was the tatakatal. Okay, tatakatal. Takatalu. And we said the rule is that we drop the last letter becomes majzoom, so it becomes tataqatal, and then the first letter, the alamat al mudari or sign of mudari drops, so it becomes taqatal. There's no need to add alif because the first letter already has a haraka. Does that make sense? Taqatal, anta taqatal, antuma taqatala, antum taqatalu, anti taqatali, and so forth. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And active participle, fa'il, maf'ul, like I mentioned before, both similar scale. So we add meme which has dhamma, and the difference is the second radical will take a kasra in fa'il, and we take a fatha in maf'ul. So mutaqatilun is the fa'il, is the doer. Mutaqatalun is the person or the thing the action is done upon. The verbal form is taqatul, taqatulun. So the description of action, taqatulun, okay? So forth. So the passive for fi'l madi, it's maybe writing it down a bit. So let's write it down. So there's few little changes. Ana, this is passive. Fi'l madi. Tuku tiltu. Tukiltu. Ana tuku tiltu. Nahnu. If you got a pen, you can write it down always. Or it gives you here, and you could try to form the rest from there. Nahnu tuku tilna. So this is going to follow this scale. So it's same for rest of them. Anta. Rohana, what do you think? It's be hard to say, to be honest, but yeah. What do you think? Anta?
Anta tuku anta is past tense, no sir? No, present.
Yes, past.
No sir, can't get it.
Tuku tilta. Same, but you just start and anta tuku tilta. Antuma.
Tuku tima.
Tuku tiltuma. My writing is not very clear, to be honest. Tiltuma. I'm using a mouse, not a pen. Antuma tuku tiltuma. Let me 1 second.
So, but in active form, there was no wow.
Yes. So some passive forms. I think form 5 was like this as well. Is form 6. It's you probably have to just uh, learn. It's a bit different. So even though it was no Dhamma in the active, because I did say there's a rule, and it does apply to. Well, the kasra seems to apply to everything. The kasra on the second radical in the past passive, in the fi'l madi majhul, but sometimes it seems in form 5 and 6 it be different. So let's write it down here. Ana to tiltu nahnu tuku tilna. How are you finding for Hana Arabic now? Are you finding it hard, or you think it's getting easier? You progressing? Anta to
So these
filter.
forms are making little confusion.
But generally, like
Yeah, now I'm getting more clear. Like many things when I read Quran, I can make out at least 50% of the meaning.
that's
But
good,
I want to be
mashallah.
like more perfect in this majhul than active. I have to
But
work more now.
overall, the lessons you think they're getting easier than before? Antuma, toku,
Yes, sir.
tiltuma. Yeah, that's good. Now I've noticed improvement in your understanding, which is very good. Antum. See, this is the thing, even when we're doing other lessons, when we're doing it, you're finding it hard. But those things now, we probably find them easy now because laugh is practice. So same here. Tuku, tiltum, antum, tukiltum, anti. And this form is, again, in the passive is not used much. To be honest with you, I haven't come across it much. So, Taku Iltuma. I'm writing down because it is hard form. So when you memorize it, you probably, when you watch the video, if you haven't already wrote it down, then you can refer back to it. That's why I'm writing it separately. The others you can make
Yes,
it
sir.
yourself. This is for you and today, so you don't get mixed up. Taku Iltuna. Yeah.
So why are we adding wow when there was no wow earlier in Muf?
Oh, because it's the way we have heard Arabs saying it. So sometimes, sometimes there are things there which we don't know why, but it's the way we heard Arabs saying it. So Arabic was there before grammar was formed. So because grammar was formed later, but Arabic, there's a lot of things fits within rules, but so certain things it's hard to explain why. Maybe explanation, I'm not aware of it. So here you just sometimes you just have to memorize or just accept the things they are the way they are. I'm not too sure why that is the case. There may not be explanation for this. تقوتل Have you taken part in any WhatsApp groups or anything like that?
Yes, sir.
Do you practice conversation with anybody?
No, sir. I'll be starting. When last week you said, so I got one friend from Dubai. So I told her that I'm learning Arabic and I want to speak to you in Arabic in WhatsApp.
Okay. تقوتل هما تقوتلتما no, huma tuqutila is not feminine. 1 second. No, that's good. You need practice. Without practice, you're not gonna, just by lessons, you're not gonna know the conversation. You need to practice. تقوتل تقو- And does she know the classic, the Fusha Arabic?
Yes, sir.
Does she know the Fusha Arabic of your friend?
Yes, sir. I asked her about it. She said, yeah,
That's
she knows.
Huma tukutituma. Unna tuku. You can see everything I wrote, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tukutilla. Okay, so you could copy that in your own time. Okay. Go back to the book. So can you see?
Yes, sir.
So okay, so this is we've done the passive for the past tense. For the present or future, the passive is simply you add dhamma on the first radical, on the alamat mudari, on the sign mudari. So utaqatalu, ana utaqatalu, nahnu nutaqatalu, anta tutaqatalu, antuma tutaqatalani. So huwa yutaqatalu. I think this is okay, yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So meaning pattern, which is good to know. The reflexive of form 3. Qatala meant to fight. The qatala means to fight each other. So you are involving yourself in the action. The qatala means to fight. With taqatal, it was qatala means to fight. The qatala means to fight each other. Haraba means to fight as well. The haraba to fight each other. Awana means to cooperate. The awana means to cooperate together. That's why we get ta'awun, which is the if you look at the master, when you say ta'awun in Urdu, it's on the form. It's the basically Arabic. If we use it, the word we got from Arabic, it's the master of this verb, ta'awana yata'awun, to cooperate together. Wafaqa means to agree with. The wafaqa means to agree together. So you see the meaning, it's same meaning, but it just, you know, instead of it just be referring back to the speaker. So in this form, this form of the verb must always have a dual or plural subject. So because this is to do with, you know, we're doing it to fight each other, to cooperate together, to agree together. So here what you're saying is, you know, you need two people, right? So the subject must either be dual or plural. And obviously, he mentioned here, obviously, when the third person, when the verb comes first and there's the subject mentioned afterwards, then obviously the verb always comes singular. So tawafaka al-hizbani, the two parties agreed with each other. So here the verb is singular, but obviously the subject is dual. Taqatala jayshani, the two armies fought each other. Right? The jayshani is, the subject is dual. If it wasn't for these subjects, it will be tawafaqa. Yes, it will be dual. It would mean them two, right? The two parties, it would mean that they agreed with each other. Them both agreed with each other. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And but also it says sometimes the subject may have a collective word such as nasun or qawmun, because here it's not a singular word, it's a singular word, but the meaning is plural, right? It's collective. We're known as collective word. Nasun means people. Qawmun means people. So when you say people, it's normally it's more than one person, isn't it? So ta'awan al-qawmu, the people cooperated together. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, so similar to it's even more than form 5. Form 6 is used with the meaning of simulating a state or status, representing oneself to have one. So thinking oneself to have this quality, a quality, or representing oneself. So jahilun is ignorant. The jahala means to affect ignorance. Mashghulun means to busy. The shaghala means to pretend to busy. Right? Zahirun means clear, apparent. The zahara to feign, which means to pretend, to appear. Somebody is sick. هو يعني مريض, or you could say تظاهرت مريضا. You pretending to be sick. Does that make sense? You pretending
Yes, sir.
or thinking of having this quality of status. So vocabulary. Now, this was a bit shorter than the previous chapter. The rules, so which is good. Asrun, broken plural is asarun. It means trace, footsteps. Okay. I'm not sure how to pronounce I'm not sure how to pronounce this word. Shuja'un means brave. Plural means shuja'anun. Okay. Jihatun means side, point of view. Jihatun is a plural, feminine plural it takes. Side of point of view. Kazalika, in the same way. Kazalika, likewise. Moreover. Shiddatun means strength, severity, violence. Bishiddatin, used with B, means violently, strongly. Tiflun means child. Atfalun means tiflun means child or baby. Atfalun is a broken plural. Dahika means to laugh. Yadhaku. Dahika, yadhaku. Yeah, it gives you here the meaning. To laugh. Ala, at somebody. If you use ala, it means dahiktu alayka. I laughed at you, for example. Nasraniyun means Christian. Broken plural is Nasara, Christians. Qawiyun means strong. Aqwiya'u is broken plural. Quwwatun means strength, power, force. Quwwatun is the plural. This is like a feminine plural, and this is the broken plural. Quwwan. Dira'un, arm, forearm. Broken plural is uzru'un. Silahun means weapon. Aslihatun is a broken plural. And this is form 5 now. This gives you form 5. Verbs of form 5. تكلم means to speak. يعني أتكلم, I speak باللغة العربية. I speak in Arabic language, like that. تتبع يتتبع means to follow. تقدم, to come forward. Remember, قدم يقدمون, it was to bring forward. So you're applying to yourself, it means to come forward. تفرق.
So same way taba was to follow, and tadabba is for the person who is speaking that to follow.
Yes,
right, sir?
Yes. Yeah, that particular example has their very similar meaning. The shakkara, to be grateful. Shukrun means to give thank you. Again, reflects it back to oneself. It means to be grateful. Tazakkara, to remember. Ta'ajjaba, tamahala, to go slowly. to be slow. تعجب, to wonder, be astonished. تعلم, to learn. تشرف, to have the honor, be honored. So if you look at form 2, for example, is sharrafa yusharrifu, which means to honor someone, right? And this is referring back to oneself, to be honored. So like you said, this is like becoming, so something like that. Don't think this would need a passive form. Sometimes this verb, and this comes with more experience. The passive and the active would have the same meaning. You don't need to use the passive. Some instances. توقع, to expect. Form 6 verbs. تحادث, to converse together, to talk together. تفارق, to disperse. تقابل, to meet each other. تقابل يتقابلوا. تعاون, to cooperate together. تقاتل, to fight each other. توافق, to agree together. تظاهر, to feign, show, demonstrate. So number 1, let's do the questions. Do you want can do number 1? هل تتكلمون اللغة العربية؟ نعم يا سيدي أتكلمها قليلا.
Do you speak Arabic language? Yes. Oh, sir. I speak it a little.
Yeah, that's good. So obviously lugata is the object, so it's that's why it's accusative. That's good. أتكلمها, ha is referring back to lugha al-Arabiya. It's feminine, hence it's ha, nahu. قليلا, it's a little. الأمير والأخوه جلسا يتحادثان في تلك الأمور. You want to do that?
The prince and his brother was sitting. No, the prince and his brother, like session. Jalasa.
Jalsa means to sit as well. Yeah, jalasa, sitting. We're sitting. Yes.
Then yatahadasani, I don't know.
Or sat. The prince. Tahadasa, we said to have conversation together.
To have the prince and his brother sat and had conversing together about that prince.
No, amur is it's a plural of amrun.
Amrun means command.
No, amrun also means matter. So amurun means matters. That's why with tilka is the feminine, because amurun is the broken plural. So those matters.
Okay,
لما سمع الرجال ذلك تقدموا جميعا إلى جهته. So I'll translate this for you. لما means when. سمع الرجال, the men heard. When the men heard ذلك, that. تقدموا is to mean come forward. So they came forward. جميعا, all of them. إلى جهته, to his direction. So to his side. Okay. So if you do a couple of these, we conversed about this matter, this affair yesterday morning, but did not agree. So we done conversation just now, which is here.
Tahadasa.
Yeah. So we conversed about this matter yesterday morning.
It will be tahadasana.
Tahadasna. Tahadasna. So
tahadasna an haza.
Okay, so yeah, Dasna, we about that this affair, and Hazal, yeah,
And Hazal Umuri.
Amuri is the broken plural. Singular is
Amari.
yeah.
Amari. Sabahal Amsi.
Yesterday morning. Okay, so it's either gonna be Amsi Sabahan. So you could just say it's not
Bariha.
so it's yesterday morning. So you can say Amsi. Amsi. In the morning we said we normally say Sabahan. تحدثنا عن هذا الأمر أمس صباحا but did not agree.
Lakin.
Okay.
So what is agree?
توافق توافق يتوافق.
Tawafaqa. Okay, so we should add lam.
Yeah, yeah.
Lam.
توافق يتوافق.
Yatawafaqu. It is for plural, but so we should use the plural form, right?
Who we talking about? We're talking about we, right? Look at the sentence. We conversed about this matter this morning, but did not agree. Who did not agree? Who did not agree? So we took. How do you say we?
We. I'm not getting it. Natawafaq.
Yeah. Lam natawafaq. Is another way of saying we did not agree? What's that way? You could use ma as well.
With ma.
Yes, ma tawafaqna.
Tawafaqna.
Yeah. Number 2. Muslims and Christians fought each other a long time ago, but they agree today in many things.
Al-Muslimu wa Nasara.
Al-Muslimuna. So I think first of all, if you start with, it's probably better to start with the verb, because normally we start with the verb, right?
Yes, sir. Fight each other is taqatal.
Okay.
Taqatala.
Yeah.
Al-Muslimu. Muslimuna.
Muslimuna, yes.
So it's an object. Nasara.
What's the object?
So here the Muslimun is the subject, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So
Muslim and the Christian is the subject. Both are fighting each other, right? There's no object here.
Fight each other along. Oh. So yeah, so Kala is self fought each other, right, sir?
Sorry?
So Katala itself is fought each other. We don't need to translate separately each other. So a long time, muddatun tawilun.
So it says for a long time, so it's going to be limuddatin.
Muddatin tawilin.
Oh, sorry, it says long time ago. It says long time ago. So how do you say ago? Before.
Kana.
No. Qabla.
Qabla muddatin tawilatin.
Yes.
Lakin
Okay, sometimes you also could say lakinna if you want to as well, because it's talking.
Okay,
No, sorry,
lakinna.
lakinnahum, because. But okay, let's say lakin. Doesn't matter. The same thing. Lakin.
Lakin tawakka yatawakka yatawakka yatawakka.
No, it was tawakkal. So to agree is agree with each other is tawafaqa yatawafaqu.
Yeah, so they agree. So
Tawafaqa.
yatawaka with means wow and noon. I can't completely conjugate it.
Yes. Lakin.
Third person plural.
They agree today.
Al-yawma fi shay'in kasirin.
Fi shay'in is a singular.
Ashya. Ashya.
Yeah. But here it says but
Kasiratin.
many. Okay, ashyain. Okay. Fi ashyain kasiratin. Normally, when you probably use amur is a more common word to use because it's we talk about matters. Where is it from? Okay, you got the meaning anyway. So I'm having difficulty with my writing on here. 1 second. The learned men were talking together about the anti. What does this word mean? Of Egypt. So we already done this. So we're gonna say the learned men were talking. So here, I believe it's gonna be kana. We're gonna use the past. What was it called? Past continuous.
So this is in this sentence you're going to use the full form. Majhul form.
Learning men were talking. What do you think that?
60, 70, 80, 90.
I think you should use passive here.
Why do you think?
No, sir, because subject is mentioned here. So no, active.
Yeah, active, yes. The only difference is we're not saying that the learning men spoke together. We are saying they were talking. So this is known as, what is it called? We're talking. Something like what is this called? Yeah, because they did in the past, it's called past continuous. I'm not sure. Do you remember this?
Yes. So
it's gonna be kana.
Kana with imperfect.
Yes, kana al-ulama'u yatahadathuna an athari Misra. Misra is the means Egypt is diptoed. Okay.
Yes.
So it's gonna be kana singular, then al-ulama'u learned man. Kana al-ulama'u yatahadathuna an asa, which be Misra. It's not Misra because diptoed. We expect the enemies advance from this side. Okay, that's the way you could attempt yourself, inshallah. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, jazakumullah khair.